Welcome to the FSF PopCast live show. Hey guys, welcome.
The new intro freaked Ernie out.
Okay. Did it?
He's okay. He's like looking up with that, like, what is that sound?
What the crap is that noise?
Okay, boy.
Want to welcome everybody to the madness that is the FSF PopCast live show. We're so excited to have another opportunity to hang out with you guys as we do from time to time, you know, like we try to do on Monday nights. But yeah, we're excited to have you guys here, and we've got some great guests waiting in the background. And we're going to have a really cool conversation tonight about something that I've always wanted to do. We'll just say I'm probably a little too much chicken for it, but
we'll get into it, Tim. We'll help you. First step is getting Tim a kilt.
Actually, I want a kilt.
You would look so good in a kilt. As long as you wear the tall socks, so you don't show off your chicken ankles. You'll be fine.
Well, you know, there's that.
Ernie, you seriously need to figure out where you're putting your butt.
Never really thought of myself as having chicken ankles, but okay.
It's honestly, it's mostly like just when guys wear kilts that you realize that you all have very tiny ankles.
I'm going to be like super
self-conscious of your ankles now.
Self-conscious about my ankles now. And Anna says, yes, kilts.
Hi, Anna.
Yeah. Hi, Anna.
Ernie, say hi to Anna. Say hi, Anna.
So I'm very much interested in getting a kilt and doing the kilty-like things. But yeah.
Well, I mean, the next time you make your way this side of the state, we'll take you to Frankenmuth and get you fitted. It got kilt. Get you kilted.
I mean, okay. That could be fun.
John, we're taking Tim to Frankenmuth.
Woohoo!
Also to the beer museum.
Oh yes, please. All right, we got people waiting in the wings in the background. The first one on the list is not here yet, so we'll introduce them when they get here. So,
alrighty.
So hold on one second. I got to skip ahead. There we go. All right.
Oh goodness! In the back waiting for us, we have April Hunter, professional wrestler, podcaster, and cosplayer. I'm still just super geeked about the professional wrestler part. But that's just
I'm sure we can ask her about that. I don't think she'll have a problem with that. So we'll bring her in. Hello, April. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Great. And because I did this all in backwards order, we're going to go back and take those images off the screen so I could bring out the next person. Because I did these slides in such great, fantastical order. But next,
it's okay. I heard you guys talking about kilts. Like, hello, you don't have a kilt. Every man looks good in a kilt. All of you guys.
My husband has 2 of them, and I can confirm that is when he is his sexiest.
Well done. Oh, Allie's here. Hello.
Hello, Allie. And then, of course, we need to welcome in the man, the myth, the very first interview we ever did on the FSF PopCast was with this man, Captain Rex, and that's who he cosplays right there from Star Wars, The Clone Wars. Let's bring in Captain Rex.
Well, hello there. Hey, Kathleen, I resent that chicken ankles thing. I feel like I would look amazing in a kilt, and now I just know to never wear a kilt around you if we ever meet.
Just make sure you have socks and boots. You'll be fine.
You'll never see socks. You'll never see Rex in a kilt, Kathleen.
I'm so sad.
Also, April, your cosplay is amazing. I thought that was actually Evangeline Lilly.
Thank you.
I realized it was you. So
yeah, that was very good.
Well done.
Yours is as well. I'm a huge fan.
I think we need to combine the kilts and the Rex cosplay now, though.
It would be outrageously popular. That's a home run.
Beautiful.
I knew. Yeah. So, and obviously you'll see an empty chair here in just a bit. We'll be joined by, the name is Fives on Instagram, where she is the painter and the artist. She's the creative end of it and an absolute genius. Absolutely. We just have children that needed to go to dance.
Oh, yes. Right. Those children expecting their parents to be helpful.
Yeah, this is how we do it.
I say that as my husband's in the other room with our kids.
Saving the galaxy and taking our kids to dance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, each have their own.
One day it's dance, the next day it's cosplay. That's how it goes.
That's how we go.
My daughter's ballet classes on Wednesdays.
Exactly. You get it.
All right, so April, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and where people can find out more, about you, your channel, and everything. Because now I follow you on Instagram, and you have just a wealth of content on there. Not just your cosplay stuff, but you have a podcast as well. You do a whole lot of different stuff.
Oh my gosh, I do a little bit of everything. So, well, obviously, my name is April Hunter. You can find me anywhere online, either April Hunter or Real April Hunter, including Instagram, Real April Hunter. I do a bunch of different things. So I am a professional wrestler, professional cosplayer, a comic book model. So I've worked for a lot of the artists from Marvel, DC, Boom Studio Comics, Boris Vallejo, and I've been doing that for a really long time. I started doing that before professional wrestling. And then I have done Playboy and some of the pinup modeling and worked in the fitness industry as well, doing competitions. And it's been an interesting life where it's never boring. So I went back to school in 2015 and graduated with my degree in writing for entertainment. So I'm still doing entertainment and journalism as well. And now I have my own podcast, The A Show.
Awesome. Very, very cool. And before we have Rex tell everybody about where they can find out more about him. Okay, so I have to admit, the lights going on in the back of your top wall, I just noticed them, and it made me think that your screen was acting up, like
buffering. Yeah,
like something was buffering and loading, and I'm like,
a lot on my Twitch. People are like, is it buffering? No, it's
I look over there and I'm like, oh God, did we lose Rex? Is something going on?
Every once in a while, I'll just hold real still. You won't know.
Shows what his brain is doing.
Yeah, right. He's Drax. He becomes Drax. He moves so imperceptibly.
Yeah, really slow.
So yeah, Rex, take a minute and tell everybody about you and where they can find out more about the awesomeness that is Captain Rex.
So you can find me on Instagram at CPTN_Rex. That's my Instagram. And then when Fives gets here, hers is the name is Fives. So mine is more the photo shoot, Rex type stuff, completed projects. And then the name is Fives. Hers is building, painting, more artsy stuff. So at the name is Fives and then at Captain Rex. And then you can also, if you enjoy watching super average gameplay, follow me on Twitch, the OG Captain Rex on Twitch. And you will just you'll be able to show up and watch someone play a game. Okay.
That's the best part of those, because I've watched many of the streams, and one of the best things is that you feel good. Like, I could hang with this guy. I could probably do what he's doing. I could do the things. I could maintain that level of okayness.
Yeah,
it's almost like a Schadenfreude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
you show up and we're just typical dudes playing a game, and sometimes we win.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, "No, you do awesome, Rex. Don't be modest."
Oh, bless you. Who is that? Who?
Robert Montalvo.
Robert, thank you. You wonderful human.
There you go.
See, I've thought about streaming, playing video games on Twitch, and I'm like, I'm so terrible at it. It would just be videos of me being angry that I'm failing.
And people like that, though.
There might be an avenue for that, though.
Yeah,
that's the thing. John says there's nothing wrong with lowering the difficulty to enjoy the story of the game. I tell myself that every day.
Plus, if you get better, the fans are right there with you, cheering you on as an underdog as you get better and better and better. And they can say, "We knew you when you sucked."
That's
we were there when you were average.
We were there when you were terrible, and now you're
less than terrible.
You're still playing the game. Bless your heart.
Yeah.
I've actually been enjoying watching people stream horror games, playing horror games. It is so funny to me. It's
funny to you.
I'm like, the number of times that it's how did you not see that jump scare coming? Like,
okay, so hear me out. When you're playing, right? So I do a lot of Warzone, and so
a good friend.
One of my most popular, let's see, almost 3 years, and he hasn't improved. He's trying to get out, Luke. One of my most popular viewed and live was Slenderman Arrival. Terrifying. I played it for 2 or 3 nights before I beat it. I lost sleep. My wife lost sleep, and it was very scary. Yeah, that was very. But they loved it. Everybody loved it. But I had hair before.
I actually just recently, and I mean by recently, a couple of months ago, got the first 4 or 5 Nights games.
Oof.
And I haven't made it past night 2 on the first game yet because I have a 5-year-old, and the number of times that it's I can't play this right now. I made the mistake of thinking she was asleep, and then she came out right as Bonnie Bunny jumped at the screen, and I'm like, oh, we're not gonna play this for a while.
Get the kids. I'm the baby.
Did you guys know?
They don't even come in, and I get scared. I'm like, oh, my kids are awake. I gotta go to sleep now.
Yeah, I'm 6'3" a sissy, so when it comes to stuff like that, I'd be like, yeah, no.
I grew up with 2 older brothers that are 10 and 12 years older than me. I don't scare that easily anymore.
Did you guys know that there are adult versions of Choose Your Own Adventure books, and they're horror, where you're the one getting chased?
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, they just came out apparently with these books, and they're
I loved those books.
Yes, it is, and it's like I didn't know they existed until one of my co-hosts from the show told me that he had gotten one for his friend for Christmas, so I got one for my cousin for Christmas, and I paged through. I'm like, oh gosh, it takes one of them takes place in an insane asylum, and you're the one being chased and butchered. So yeah, if you look, Choose Your Own Adventure horror books, it will come right up.
I love it. So I say that I don't scare easily because like horror stuff like that I love. My phone rings and it's somebody I don't know, I'm not going to answer it. Like that scares me.
That's scary.
That's terrifying. I would rather have things jumping out at me at my screen than my phone ring.
I would love to watch Tim play a scary game.
Ugh.
I would even pay if it included giant. Oh,
No.
John, no.
Have you played any of Skyrim, Tim?
I did a little bit and then no.
Because frostbite spiders?
A little bit. A little bit. Like I said, 6'3" of sissy. I can admit that full on ahead of time. I am a giant pansy, and I'm okay with this. It's gotten me this far in life.
You are the panda bear of the bears.
Oh, I am very much. Yeah,
it's okay to own it. I just won't do it. I don't like it. I am a baby.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yes.
But no, John, I'm not playing anything that has giant spiders in it. Never, ever, ever. The simple fact that we have an RPG that we play, a Star Wars RPG, once a month. The second Monday of every month. That's when that episode comes out. And John is our game master, and he put in spiders into one episode, and I'm like, really, dude? I hate spiders. I despise them. Yeah.
These guys? This guy right here?
Anyway, but yeah. John says I'm a 6'3" red panda.
See, I hand painted this mini, and the only thing I regret about hand painting this mini is that I put cotton ball fuzz on his legs, so his legs are furry. So it actually looks scary and furry, weird.
That just sounds hideous. Hideous.
Thank
you, Allie.
My desk now.
All right, guys. So we have you guys here tonight to talk not about my fears and phobias, but we have you here to talk about cosplaying because you guys are awesome at it. And it's something I've always thought was really cool. It's one of the things I actually love about going to Comic-Cons and things like that is that, being able to see different people's cosplays and their interpretations on characters. And especially when it's not one that's like, I love the ones that are screen accurate, of course, but there's also a certain subset of cosplay that where it's going down the lane of screen accurate, but then they took this really awesome shift and they went somewhere else with it. And it just makes for a fun, cool afternoon. So here's my first question for you guys. Either one can answer this question first. I don't care. Why do you cosplay? I like to know what makes people tick, what gets people into what they're doing.
Go for it, April.
I was just passing it off to you, Rex.
All right. So Brenda and I are pretty. She calls me the most extroverted introvert that she knows, and so I'll try to sum up the story pretty quick. I love Captain Rex. I've always loved Captain Rex. I love what he stands for. I love how he is in the shows. I love everything about Captain Rex. And if you've seen the Clone Wars and you don't agree with me, then you did we watch the same thing? You know, I've never met anybody who's like, he is okay. You know,
He's a jerk.
he's a jerk. But one day I was just kind of Googling it and I saw a suit and I was like, dang, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then I went to an orchestra concert at our elementary and the 501st showed up and there was a clone. And so all these things were coming together and I was like, I can do this. This is a thing I can do. So I hunted them down in like the dressing room. I was like, tell me everything. So they kind of hooked me up a little bit with some connections. And so I just started picking everybody's brain. When you start getting into cosplay, you realize that it's not a cheap hobby. It's not something that you're just going to do. Okay. I'll start learning the costs and I'm like, holy, there is no good time to do this. My wife is pregnant with our second, gives birth early, emergency C-section. We find out our daughter has Down syndrome. And it shook our world. We had no idea. That was 8 years ago. But what happened at that time is Bryn just looked at me and she was like, YOLO. Like, life's too short. Things can be turned upside down so quick. It's too short to just not do what you want to do. So we bought it and have just been running with that side ever since. But that's kind of how we got into it, is that I was just obsessed and I wanted to dress up as Captain Rex and found the 501st and other avenues to just allow me to play Captain Rex. So it's kind of
very cool. All right. April, how about you? What are the reasons why you cosplay?
Got so many. Well, first off, before I say that, I wanted to say hi to everybody in the chat. I see many of you guys from the podcast and from social media. Thank you for saying hi to me over here and joining me tonight. So you guys are awesome.
That's my daughter, by the way. She's telling me that she brought her group chat to the live show.
That's
Please
bad.
I love you.
Hello, Kendall.
I love you more than your dad does.
I don't know. I think I've been doing this as long as I can remember. It was never called cosplay when I started. I used to call it dressing in costume. So the first time I did it like professionally, this is going to give away my age. Holy crap. Okay. I was doing Lara Croft when Tomb Raider came out.
Okay.
So I lived in Vegas at the time and I was working a lot of conventions and I was hired to do Lara Croft a lot. I was hired to do a lot of Jessica Rabbit, always Jessica Rabbit. And then, as things went on in Poison Ivy and Thundra and Black Widow and Artemis and obviously Wonder Woman. Everybody's got a version of Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. And then I started mashing up things. I did like a gothic Jessica Rabbit and a elf version of the Punisher. And I started having fun with mixing and matching. But I think what happened, where it all went really wrong or really right was underoos. When we were little, there was such a thing called underoos where you could dress in underwear like your favorite superhero. And my parents indulged us. Yes, Lara Croft is awesome. And my parents indulged us in underoos, a lot of them in Supergirl and Wonder Woman and all of that. And my brother is the same way I am. He does the same stuff. He's got the full, Mandalorian, the whole thing. Total dork nerd, just like me. And I guess it's just something in the blood. So I don't know. We've just been doing it forever.
Nice.
Just didn't want to grow up. I mean, I pay my bills on time, but that's about. I feed my pets when they're supposed to be fed. I pay my bills. If I say what I mean what I say, and that's about as far as the grown-up thing goes, I think.
Right.
That's it.
That's really as far as it needs to go.
That's what I feel like too. Yeah. So I still go to I still go to trampoline jump parks and flip around. I still
right.
do dumb things all the time. Some of them not so smart.
My husband frequently says, and I'm sure he'll probably put it in the comments too, with you don't stop having fun because you get old because you stop having
fun. Yes.
Yeah.
And I also heard another variation of that. You don't find someone to grow old together. You find someone to stay young with.
Oh, I love that.
Mhm.
I love that a
I
lot.
like that. That's nice. That's
Mhm.
cool.
So just because Captain Rex mentioned it, and it's something that I feel a lot of people, when they look at cosplay and they want to do cosplay, they get stumbled by the price tag.
Mhm.
This is going to cost so much to do this.
Mhm.
Rex, do you have an estimate on what your suit cost?
This is a nice
Yeah.
suit.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I sure do. Okay.
So it's a couple thousand. Like Rex was probably sitting at, if I rounded up, just short of $4,000. Maybe less, but I mean, I'd be looking at 3, right?
Right.
Cosplay's expensive, and I point to the empty chair. Brenda and I have always had the when we're going to do it, we're going to go all out, right? We're going to get the proper stuff. Our kits are going to be exact. Like I have a Captain America it's like the real Captain America shield. It's like the real suit. We want everything exact, because when you run into kids, adults, and your suit is exact, you're no longer Sean, you are Rex. You are Captain
Oh, yeah.
America. You're Wonder Woman. That is the funnest part. So, cost. Let me say this to everybody who wants to get into it. There's never, ever a good time to spend the amount of money that it costs to get into this. It's always financially irresponsible. It
Yep.
just is. It just is. But it's like what April was saying. It makes us happy. If you want to do it, do it. Don't try to justify it, because somebody will be like, oh, that's really expensive. Yep. I wanted to be Captain Rex and dress up, whether I had an avenue or not. So that's all I'd say is the advice is it is expensive. There are budget ways to do it, doing things yourself.
I will
But
share some of those
you
when you're
gotta
done.
just do it because it makes you happy. But there's budget stuff, which I'm sure April knows.
Yeah, so go ahead, April. Share some of those budget ideas.
So I'm one that I try not to spend a lot of money on my costumes. I've had some of my fans either sponsor or send me some really nice things. Like if you've seen my Red Sonja outfit, all the chainmail, I'm sure that costs a freaking fortune, which I also cross over and use part of that for the Agony. George Perez did a comic book series called Sirens, and what my character in that, I was one of his models, and I play Agony. So I use part of my Red Sonja costume for that as well.
Okay.
And it probably cost, I don't even know how much, because it was custom made for me. One of my fans sent it. So I have some things that are ridiculously expensive, custom made, all that. And then I've got some things that are like $40, $80. And people like that just as much. Now, obviously, I think it's a little maybe different if you're a female, because if you wear it a certain way and rock it, it doesn't necessarily matter what you're wearing. It matters how you're pulling it off. So a budget way to do this, and cosplayers might hate me for saying this, but I'm a professional cosplayer and a professional cosplay judge, so take it with a grain of salt there.
Take it for a grain of salt, but I'm very, very good at what I do.
I'm very, very good at what I do, and I make a living at it.
Yeah.
And I judge you also, and I can tell you how to get by. Go to places like Party City, like Amazon. Look for the basics. Look for the black leather pants. Look for the basics in the costumes, the basics with the Harley Quinn or whatever you're looking for. Look for them when they go on sale. Mix and match things, and then learn how to sew, pick up some materials, go to the craft stores, keep an eye out for things, and then add to these things and make it your own version. But if you have the basics already there, you can reinforce that and alter it and make it your own version. And it shouldn't cost you that much, but learn how to sew, learn how to use glue, learn how to work with these materials, and you can make it your own version.
Yeah.
Solid. Yeah, with Fives over here, she has a Wonder Woman and kind of went the budget route, but then weathered it, right, with her amazing painting skills, and it looks incredible. And I think the whole thing was, it was under 100, I think.
Yeah, I have a lot of costumes that are under $100.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes
So-
if you just spend the money on just that one thing, like that one necklace, that one choker, that one really cool pair of gauntlets, that one pair of like boots, that one waist cincher or belt, or that, that one prop, you can get away with it.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Mhm.
Because that might even be something that can tie across from one costume to another.
Yes. Yep.
So then
Yeah.
then your overall cost for that individual costume may come down.
Yeah. Spend wisely. If you're going to spend money, get a good pair of black boots, because every cosplayer needs a good pair of black boots, and it will cross over into many different costumes. Am I right or am I right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And comfort.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Ben here is our co-host. He was unable to make it tonight. He's under the weather.
Yes.
So
Thrift stores.
So he's watching from the nestled corner of his couch with a puppy on his lap.
And a blanket.
And a blanket, yes. But he does a lot of cosplay as Spider-Man. He pulls it off really, really well.
Mhm.
He's got a really we had him on screen a couple weeks back where he actually came on in full Spider-Man and looks it's ridiculous. But yeah. So anyway, just want to throw that out there too.
See, and I think too that with cosplay, and I feel like this is a stopping point for a lot of people, is just the mental getting overwhelmed by it with the, well, I want to have this costume, but I need all of these pieces. When you, like you said, April, when you can get those basic pieces and then you can mix and match and then you can make it so that you have more than one thing to cosplay as. I feel like that's something that people need to look at too, is have these basics, have these things that you need for 6 different costumes so that you have choices and then you don't feel so bad about spending as much money on one costume.
Can I show you guys something?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to show you. See this costume right here? Well, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
So the hammer was made by one of my friends. It's a table leg, a leftover table leg with a block on there, spray painted silver. The middle part, the black part right of my costume, was a piece of a mannequin that a store was getting rid of. The photographer took that mannequin torso, cut it up, and dyed and painted it black. The chainmail bra is from the Red Sonja outfit that I told you about. The chainmail bottom is the same outfit, and the skirt is the Wonder Woman warrior skirt. I already had the cape, and then the photographer brought that helmet there. And then the boots are the black boots I told you every cosplayer should have a pair of, with long socks. So
Love that.
this outfit, and then the silver gauntlet thingy majiggies I already had from another costume. This outfit cost us pretty much nothing. So
Very cool.
yeah, it's just a matter of spray painting with silver and black and mix and matching with different things that we already had.
Yeah, very cool.
I love too though that you can see the quality of, I mean, the $4,000 Captain Rex suit is fantastic. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And then the table leg Mjolnir is also really cool. Like, I love that you have both ends of the spectrum on there, but they're both really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What's he grabbing?
a Mjolnir.
My Mjolnir.
Oh, look at that!
So
badass.
I actually had
mine was heavy as hell. It was all wood.
Well, this is actually all wood as well, but the thing is, the guy made it. And it's nice and light.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had this made by a guy down in Tennessee, I believe it was.
I bet you yours is made of a table leg too.
We have the plastic one that came in the Amazon.
I'm gonna go with probably. I mean, like the bottom, that's just PVC piping. Just cut. So he's got a little bit of braided band around the wood handle and engraved, and
it looks awesome.
But it's really cool.
I like too that you need to learn to sew. That's such an important part of cosplay too. Like, you can do so much cool stuff with store-bought and with pre-made, but there's so much more when you have your heart and soul and literally flesh and blood sometimes go into your costumes as well. Like, I was actually on the phone with my mom before the show with we're talking to cosplayers tonight. I'm like, what what would you want to ask a cosplayer? And she's like, oh, I guess. And her question, I love her question, was how do you take a 2-dimensional outfit? How do you take an outfit from a movie and make it into a 3-dimensional to fit your person? And I mean, my mom is an incredibly talented seamstress. She made my wedding dress. She made all of my bridesmaids' dresses. But then, like, seeing the cosplay aspect of it, she's like, how do you take the picture and make it the reality? And I'm like, that's really cool. I'm going to have to talk to them about that. But obviously I should have listened when she taught me to sew was a big thing. She tried. I didn't listen because I was a stubborn, stinky kid.
You're a stubborn, stinky adult. Anyway, but anyway,
nobody asked you, Patrice.
All right. So War Demon says that you, April, have a corgi named Loki.
I do. That's who was barking earlier. He takes his job at the front door very seriously.
They are the best little doorbells.
Understood. I thought I had seen something on your page earlier that you had a corgi, which is great because so do I.
Oh, no way, really?
Oh,
yeah.
That's so
her name
cool.
is Toast.
Toast, like a loaf of bread.
Because she had just come in from the outside, so she has snow all over her face.
I was gonna ask her. She just kind of freckled like a baby deer. I'm not in the corgi group. I've got 2 doodles. We've got Schmidt.
Oh,
That's a lot of energy right there. As a doodle.
Winston Schmidt from New Girl, and then the other one is Khloe Kardashian, obviously.
Okay.
Well, yes.
Yeah, we've got a corgi and a pit bull. So
that's what I have.
I have a pit bull.
And a Maine Coon. So come here, baby. This is my this is my lap. Come here. Oh, that's all he does is what you can
Oh, hi. Hello, baby. Oh my goodness, that face.
Say hello. No,
hello, sweetheart.
No, this way, right here. Come here. Say it that way. No.
Nope, don't want to. Not going to.
He's very shy. He's very shy.
No, that's great. But I saw that and I was like, I'd seen that in your, and I was going to ask you about that. Then I completely forgot about it, and so that coming back up on the screen reminded me. So
yeah.
Anytime I see somebody who's like, oh, I've got a corgi or something about a corgi, I'm like, we can talk. Okay, tell me about your corgi. So
see, that's how I am.
Corgis and pit bulls get along so well. Like their energy just matches up really well.
Yeah. Oh, ours are the best of friends. It's funny because like when if they get separated for any first little bit, they're like, oh, I got all this extra room. This is great. This is fantastic. And then they act really sad because their buddy is gone.
Yeah. So. Amazing.
My pit bull is afraid of everything. She is the world's biggest chicken.
Yes, that seems normal.
She and my cat are best friends. Like, it's hilarious. They are buddies.
That's what I was doing when you guys were getting ready. As the cat and Max, my pit bull, they were laying on the bench here together, curled up in a ball. So
adorable.
Oh.
Yes, my pit bull is Zoe Jane, so she's named after 2 Firefly characters.
Oh, are you still mad that it was canceled?
Always.
Okay, just making
sure. Forever.
About it. Too soon.
Forever.
Too soon.
I haven't gotten over Wash's death either. Never will.
There's a comment in chat. It says Chloe causes trouble on Rex's stream. There was an incident. I was streaming. And all of a sudden I was like, man, did one of them rip one? Like, what does that smell? And we'd only had her for like a month, so she wasn't really, trained too well. And I turn around and look, and she had pooped within 30 seconds, just all over the place. So while I'm live, I'm like screaming and gagging and trying to open my windows. And anyway.
Oh, no.
We still love them.
Oh, man.
Oh, goodness.
That's fantastic. I mean, for me as a listener, for you, that's awful.
I didn't like it.
I can appreciate that. Yeah.
Too
soon, Ben. There's always a chance that Disney will reboot Firefly, and as much as I want Firefly to come back, I don't know.
You don't want Disney as the holder of your dreams, Tim? I don't understand.
I don't have a problem with Disney being the holder of Star Wars, so I just I want them to do
And
better
he,
with some
he
of their
loves
choices.
Star Wars
but
more than his
Sure.
wife.
I have never said that.
No, but I'm sure Shayna understands. I'm sure she feels it.
She does, but yeah. Luke says it was brilliant. You may not have enjoyed it, Rex, but Luke thought it was brilliant. All right, so it was hilarious, apparently. So other than so Rex, I already know the answer to this question for you, but I'm going to ask it anyway. It's for both of you. What's your favorite character to cosplay, Rex?
Rex. Oh yeah, it's in the name. Let me tell you why. April's brave because you can see her face. You know what I mean? And that's really hard because you have to be the character. Whereas with Rex, I took out my microphone and I can just stand there and do cool poses, and kids and adults are just pumped to see the suit. Whereas I'm just kind of a body. Now, to be fair, I've got a lot of like body language things down that I'm really proud of when I'm Rex. I absolutely love being Captain Rex. When I started venturing out of that to Captain America, it was a really interesting experience because you could see this, and I had to be a character. So that was a moment where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really self-conscious. But I love cosplaying as these people because Captain Rex, very good leader, strong, Captain America, similar qualities. And I feel like as you pretend to be these people or you're drawn to them, you can take on those characteristics and try to be, better. It's fun. So I like Star Wars stuff. I've got several things in the works, but I like being in Star Wars armor.
Okay. Very cool. April, what about you? Do you have a favorite character that you particularly like to play? Maybe not one that you've been hired to do, but one that kind of resonates with you a little bit?
It used to be, I guess, a Punisher. But my Punisher costume fell apart and I haven't fixed it. Plus
Okay.
it was full of glitter, and as we all know, glitter is the herpes of the craft world.
It is.
So yeah, I just it's everywhere. Honestly, it would probably be I play a Viking warrior a lot. That's sort of my heritage on one side, so I have a
Okay.
good time with that, other than having to braid my hair everywhere. But I have a good time with the Viking warrior and the Jessica Rabbit too. So
Okay.
and I like doing variations of Jessica Rabbit, like Nurse Jessica Rabbit or Vampire Jessica Rabbit. So that's fun too.
Honestly,
Okay.
I feel like anytime you can play Jessica Rabbit, you should play Jessica Rabbit. Like, just as a general rule. Like, Jessica
I
Rabbit.
don't think that would work for me. I'm just gonna say.
I don't know. It could. You never
I agree,
know.
Tim. I don't know if I would line up to get a picture with you as Jessica Rabbit. I'm just being honest.
I'm okay with that.
Come on, say it. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Put a little sass on it. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. Come on, Tim.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
It's a little better.
Just, there's a reason I'm
That's
not.
your homework.
Now
Your
put on
homework.
the dress, Tim. Put on the dress.
There you go.
Batman, Jessica Rabbit.
Yes!
Ben says he's ordering me a sparkling red dress.
I have his address if you need it, Ben.
John says there's glitter in my living room carpet for some
We
reason.
have a
There will
5-year-old.
always-
That's the reason.
There will always be glitter in your carpet. Once
The
it's
red
there,
glitter
it's
is because I got my wedding dress out a couple weeks ago to show the 5-year-old.
Mm.
The rest of the glitter is just straight from the 5-year-old.
And now I want to go find a whole bunch of Jessica Rabbit lines and read them as Batman. I think that'd be
You should.
hysterical. So, oh yeah. Robert says, Rex, it's your turn to say the line. I agree with him. If I had to, you have to. Way this
Robert,
works.
you can get lost. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. Ooh.
Well done.
See,
Love it.
much gooder.
Thanks, Robert. You're banned from stream now.
You can hang out here, Robert. We're okay with it.
You're
So,
gone.
We'll keep you.
Captain
Rex.
Jessica Rexit.
There you go.
Yes.
It's next on my
Yeah.
list. How did you guys know? Amazing.
Shush, Anna. Don't
As
judge
if you
me.
wouldn't have glitter in their carpet without the child. She's also not wrong.
Anna Rose. No.
So Okay, so what's one, like, the main thing, or if there is a main thing that you think people should know, other than maybe the cost of cosplay, because we kind of talked about that earlier. But what do you think is something that people should know before they start making their own cosplay, before they start getting into things?
So, I've got some. I think the biggest thing is, I don't mean this in a bad way. I was going to say get over yourself, and what I mean by that is, like when I was in Captain America, I was self-conscious, but people are excited to see the suit. So if you're passionate about your project, whether you're making it yourself, buying it, or whatever, just know that people are excited to see you, and they want to celebrate with you in that suit. Comic-Con is so fun to go to because you can just see people and be like, dang, you made that yourself. That's amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and people will lift you up. And those that are like, that's stupid. Or I had a boss once who's like, that's really nerdy. And I was like, well, I'm 36.
Yeah.
I'm pretty secure with myself,
Right.
So
Yeah,
the
it
first
is.
piece of advice is do it because you want to.
Mhm.
And don't worry about feeling self-conscious because it will be fun. And then the other part is find people that do it. So for example, hunt down April, read all of the pinned stories and comments, because I'm sure you throw out little hints and tips. Look at people that have built the suits and maybe reach out to them. So find experts within the realm, and you'll find you develop some incredible friendships. You find some very helpful people with hints and tips. So you will be able to find a little community that will help and guide you. So that's just my thoughts on it. So
Yeah.
get out of your own way and just do it because you want to, and talk to people who are better than you at it.
I think that's great advice.
Yeah,
April, you
I
got
do
anything?
too. The cosplay community is actually a really cool community. Like the cosplay events or the Comic-Con events have a really neat vibe to them. It's like the Renaissance fairs. It's very um I don't want to say family community, but because I mean it's not like, rated G family like that. But I mean they're all like a family. Like, if you need something, we'll help you. Like, oh, something broke. Oh, I have a safety pin for you. Some
Right.
random stranger, like very cool people. That said, I've met girls, say at the gym or at parties, and they say, what do you do? And I, rattle off my resume, and they fixate on cosplay, like, oh, cosplayer, because apparently people want to grow up and be a cosplayer now. Like, this is a career avenue, they think. So these are like not the girls in college, like 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. They're like, oh, I'm going to be a cosplayer too. And it's like, uh, well, I've been doing this for a very long time, and it is the thing that pays me the least. So, so if you're going
Right.
to have a career being a cosplayer, let me know how that works for you. Because in my experience, that's kind of been a deficit situation. I'm just saying, I don't want to like ruin your dreams or anything. Not trying to like pee on your Wheaties, but it's not exactly a career goal unless I'm missing something. And if I am, please, for the love of puppies, please let me know what I'm missing, because I would love to cash in on this. I've been doing it a really long time. I deserve $5 or $10. But but if it were not for the love of fans and sponsorship and people being generous and kind, or donating props and costumes, or having fans that like super love me and sending me things, it would not get done like it has been done. So and that has taken years and years and years to build that kind of situation. So I'm not sure it's a career path in and of itself. So I would say if this is something that you love and you want to see it as a career path, I would suggest that you meet lots of people and branch out into other things too, like Twitch channels and gaming channels and um, podcasts, and making your own costumes and making costumes for other people. Like getting very good at that. Doggy, stop licking my arm. I'm sure they can hear that. And pet sitting and babysitting and having a part-time job and other things like that. I could be wrong, but
No, I
Yeah.
think that's a really solid take, because if we approach it from a career perspective, it's a fundamental misunderstanding of what it is.
Mhm.
I mean, it doesn't pay my bills as much as this wall of figures behind me pays my bills, right? It's you do things because they make you happy,
Yes.
right? Streaming doesn't pay
Yeah.
my bills. Dressing up doesn't. No,
They recharge your batteries. It recharges your
That's
batteries.
that's what it is, because I get opportunities. I get to sit
Yeah.
here and talk with Tim and Kathleen
Yep.
and you, April, and
Yep.
it's opportunities. And so you get paid in like experience
Mhm.
Yeah.
and fun friendships. One of the things
Travel.
also that I love about cosplay community. So, for example, there's people in chat that I've only met because I've done Captain Rex things. In fact, 100% of them in chat are people that are because of Rex. Most of the people I interact right now with are because of Rex.
Right.
What I love about it is it allows me as an adult to dress up in Star Wars armor, which if I could have done it as a child, I would have. And gather people from all sorts of backgrounds. Like the issue with what's going on in society right now is everybody has camps and they're divided and they want to just hurt each other
Yes.
over stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But it allows me to just be surrounded by a whole bunch of people that like Star Wars. And it's like, hey, did you hear about? No, Star Wars friends. Let's just chill out, And we can just unite in one cause and
Yeah.
gain friends that you wouldn't have otherwise, right?
100%.
So that's what I like about it.
That's what I
Yeah.
love about the Renaissance fairs too. You go in there, like you said, the world is like imploding
Mhm.
from within, and I feel like that's sort of by design. They keep us divided and fighting with each other, and then you go to a Comic-Con or a Renaissance fair, and you're there, and you're just enjoying it, and you listen to the music, and you're eating a big old turkey leg or a piece of pizza, and you're hanging out with other people dressed up, and you're smelling the leather clothes, and petting a baby pig, and drinking some meat or whatever, and you're in this other world, watching some anime characters go by, and regardless of what anybody thinks about anything, you are now transported,
Mhm.
like the box, like the Doctor Who. You're
Right, yeah.
transported into this other world where every sense is engaged, and there's no more infighting and stupid stuff
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah,
You know,
Everybody's
just sit
united
down
by
together
nerddom.
and eat giant turkey legs and talk about cool stuff. Like
Exactly.
it's funny is I didn't go to a Renfest or a Comic-Con until my husband and I got together. We were actually engaged the first time I went to a Renfest. And my mom made my garb for me. My mom made the outfit that I wore. And we got there, and I remember probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes into the day, I told my husband, I'm like, I belong here. This is home. This is
right.
like, you just have that moment of the, whoa, this is real.
Yeah.
The rest of this is nonsense. This is fun.
Well, I had a similar feeling when I went to my first Comic-Con.
Mhm.
It was, walking in, unsure of what to expect, what was going to be happening, and it was just I walked through the doors, and it was like nerds
people.
as far as the eye could see, and I'm like,
Right.
this is great. I'm with nerdy people who like nerdy things, and you are my people.
And it's so when after my husband and I got married, and then we took my mom to the Renfest. My mom was a stage kid. She was a theater kid. She was in choir and went and sang in England with her college choral group. And like we went to pull up to the Renfest, and she's like, I thought this was like a couple hundred weirdos in the woods when we're a mile and a half back to turn in to the drive.
yes,
to the
check. But
I'm
more.
Yeah, she was right.
couple thousand.
Yeah, she's not wrong.
But now she's gone to 3 different fests with us. She has gone full garb and made her own garb, and I love it. It's the best. It's so fun though, because you see that theater kid come back, and it's like, hey, there she is. There's that little inner child that's still
Like,
there.
I shall be queen for the day.
Yes.
Off with your head. She's a witch.
One of my favorite things that I've ever seen at any of the cons that I've gone to in Grand Rapids, for the Grand Rapids, Michigan Comic-Con in 2022, this woman walked by, and I stopped her because I had to take a picture of her because she was just so cute. An older woman, she was walking through and She was a cosplay
Oh
repair.
my
I
god,
love
That's an
that.
important role.
that's
And-
awesome.
And so she was walking around repairing people's cosplays. She had a full-on sewing kit in her backpack, all these different things, which is also something Ben Riley does when he goes to cosplays. He or Comic-Cons rather, excuse me. But he goes through and he has, he does that as well. But I just thought it was so cool to actually see that, because I've heard stories about people doing that.
I was actually just texting my mom too that she needs to go to a con with us and cosplay as Edna Mode from The Incredibles.
No capes.
No capes.
No capes.
I mean, my mom looks enough like Edna Mode anyway. I'm like,
Little bit.
come on, and go around with a sewing kit and fix people's costumes. I'm like, that would be so much fun. Like,
Darling, this does not look
There
good
he
on
is.
you, no.
cosplay repair Captain America. I love
If
that.
I can make a
cosplay repair
suggestion-
Captain America.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I can make a suggestion too, if you are going to Comic-Cons for the day, 2 things. Wear comfortable shoes because it's a long day and a lot of times
Yes,
it's a
it is.
long walk just to get in. And the second thing is have a few things with you for repairs, like safety pins, an extra set of laces, duct tape if you can have duct tape, because anytime a boot can break, a boot will break, or something might, So basically, what else am I missing here? Duct tape, pins. I would say glue, but it takes a while for the glue to set.
Yeah.
Laces. What do you think,
Rex,
Rex?
you might enjoy this one. This was
Band-Aids. Make sure you have
Yeah,
Band-Aids.
Band-Aids for
yes.
that'd be a good one.
Obi-Wan.
Oh,
You know,
that's
it's funny,
awesome.
I recognize that kit. I know who made the actual armor bits. That's
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome.
That's Imperial surplus.
Yeah,
Nice.
and
Mile
Eva
away.
saying string. Yeah, have a little, Ziploc baggie of things with you just in case, because
Yeah.
you don't want your day to be cut short because of like a cut or a blister or a broken boot or something.
Do
Right.
you know what happens to me is I have so there's a cod piece, okay, and all the armor's harnessed and running everywhere, and then there's Velcro straps that run down the front of my thighs where the thigh piece will connect.
Mhm.
My suit's 8 years old, so that Velcro is kind of losing it a little bit. So what started happening in the past couple events I've been at is that my left thigh will just drop. And so somebody's got to come over and like stick their hand into like the cod piece and like get it. And I just have to stand there like, oh, just get it done. Just get it, So
Oh,
you gotta
boy.
make sure
How you doing?
you gotta make sure your spotters are close friends or preferably just a spouse.
Yeah, that's how it is with corsets. I wear a lot of corsets. Like
Yeah.
my Wonder Woman outfit's a corset. My Punisher is. There's a few of them. Jean Grey. So trying to get in and out of the corset, I will ask. It's whoever's closest to me. Can you lace this up? Can you get me out of it? And I'm like, I'm trapped in this thing. And by the end of the day, I'm like, just get it off, get it off, get it off, get it off.
Mhm.
I just need this off of me. So
We've always joked that if I had a medical emergency in Rex, that it's like just let me die. Because
Yep.
paramedics like cut it off, and it's like it's not gonna cut. I'm sorry, it's super thick. It's not gonna work.
yeah.
So
See, I only
Fun fact, you guys.
Yeah.
Back in the day, when women were proper, they all wore corsets, and the working women were called loose women because they cut their corsets so they could be free to work. So that's where the term a loose woman came from. So
Interesting.
I kind of get it. I kind of get it.
I love it. I did a corset at Renfest once, and I made it about 4 hours before I'm like, nope, I'm going just with the blouse. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I can't breathe. No. And I didn't even have it tight. It was just starting to have a panic attack with it. It's touching me. It's touching me.
It's like being in a cage, and then you take it off, and like for the next 24 hours, you have the ribs all stuck. It's like the metal was digging in.
I have a very short torso, and I had bruises on the tops of my hip bones just from the 4 hours that I had it on. I'm like, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're gonna get just the little waist cincher and call it good.
I have to point out. So a little bit ago in the comments, you'll see Captain Keeley. He said Rex is my safe space. There was a couple years ago where I got an email, and my Rex account is held pretty not private, but nobody's seen this mug really on my Instagram, right? And he had found my personal email, and yeah, Rex is my safe space. There it is. And he's like, "Hey, you're Captain Rex, this Instagram, right?" And basically was like, I want to build a suit. What do I need to do? And I was like, "Come on over." So he came to my house. My wife's like, "We don't know these people. What are you doing?" And he ended up listening and building a killer suit. Like you actually showed it at the beginning. It was the Captain Keeley in the sand dunes with me. And now they're just like our best friends. Bryn, yeah, there it is.
That's
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yep. So Bryn
That's
painted that. He
amazing.
built it with his wife. And so that's another one that she painted. But she's been to their first child's birth. We have dinner all the time. Like they're just like our best friends, but it happened
cool is
because
that?
of
Yeah.
Rex.
Yeah.
So
Shut up,
with
Keeley, there you are,
with
buddy.
the Rex and the Keeley costumes,
There she is.
armor, how do you, because like my mom's question about how do you take this 2-dimensional thing and figure out how to make it 3-dimensional and fit for you? What is the fit process like for the armor?
So Imperial Surplus is who I would recommend specifically for the clone armor. I mean, if you look at the suits, they are killer. Unfortunately, with that, because it is hand sculpted, there's very little variation of your body, meaning you're like 5'8", 6'3", and then it can expand out or in. So it's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of trimming, plastic, Bondo. I mean, it really is as complicated as you think it would be. If you're looking at those suits on the screen, I mean, there's so many pieces that have been cut and fit to specific body parts. It's time. I mean, it's time. Like we could probably, if we were like full-time, knock out a kit in a month. But it is a little extensive. So just a lot of measuring and trial and error.
Yeah.
How do you pee in that?
Right?
Very, very carefully. I think there was a mention of a clone diaper earlier. So
Yeah. Do you do? What do you
sanded.
do? What do you do?
You really do have to think
Not drink
ahead.
water.
There is, so the short answer is you don't. There's no hope. So you try to stay hydrated without having to pee all the time. You maybe try to eat a little bit before, but not too soon before, because if you're bloated or whatever, there's only so much airflow that can happen. The helmets have fans in them, which is really cool. But it is a lot of planning. And you were talking about being claustrophobic and just the corset. I mean, kitting in and out is 10 minutes, and having specific pieces taken off. And, if you're in the suit and you're starting to feel like, not that kind of diaper, exactly. If you're in the suit and you're starting to feel like, oh, maybe I need to go to the bathroom, I'm getting a little stressed, pull the plug. Because when it gets to the point that it's like, I'm stressed, I need to go to the bathroom, you got some time to wait. So it is a real mental game being in there. Once the helmet, actually, can I show you real quick?
Yeah, please do.
Well, he's going to grab that. All I
I have
can
a whole
think
new
of is
respect for
like,
everybody who's played this character ever.
right? And all of a sudden, all I can think of is like having a Captain Rex cod piece, P flap where it gets you.
Yeah, that's what I
Motorized.
think would be. Yeah, at least a P flap, right? Like I started making my cat suits because I switched from corsets to cat suits because now I really have to watch what I eat because it shows everything. So I'll go to printed cat suits, and I started having them put the guy zipper in there, so you can get a zipper put in, like all along, from one side of your thigh to the other, like in the crotch area, like here to there. So I asked them to put the men's zipper in there, so I can just kind of peel it and slide the thong to the side and do the thing, and then slide back. And sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. There's the occasion
to go home.
I have peed down my leg before. My friends know about this. This is they make fun of me, but
That's when you get one of the funnels.
the shiwi.
Yes, you need a shiwi.
We all have it now.
Good gosh.
I actually, a friend of mine,
Yes.
just recently,
Cosplayers, this is a thing. The shiwi and the
a friend of mine just recently found out that they were a thing, and so then I bought her one, and she's like, "You actually bought me a shiwi?" I'm like, keep it in your purse. You never know when you need it.
You never know, especially women. go to the bathroom and cosplay, have a shiwi.
Emily's nailed it. The clone armor is a 2-person job. So look at this. So here's my helmet. Okay, the damaged viewfinder. So that's why it's sitting up on the shelf right now. So when you get into the helmet, it is actually, so look at how narrow that is. Okay, so what happens is it will open, and you're gonna clamp it on. Where's my camera? You're gonna clamp it onto your head. And then you got your little fans. The camera angle. Wow, this is hard. Anyway, it's but it look. I mean, that's just the helmet. You are clamped in.
You're locked in.
Once it's in there, I mean, you are. It is on your face, right? You got your face, you're blowing air up, but it's everything is just fit to your body, which is why I think we can make them look so good because you're not huge and bulky. You are the clone. But anyway,
yeah, you win. He wins, you win.
I'm over here with my t-shirt with the collar cut off of it because it was touching me too much. Nope, I cannot be a clone.
You win.
Right.
I will stick to my pirate wench costumes and call it good.
Yeah, Robert, you're probably right. But I do anyway, so
there you go. So I'm going to show this real quick because this was something. So, like I said, Rex was our very first guest ever,
which is
on the FSF PopCast, and this video just needs to be shown again, just because. Well, Rex.
What are you going to?
Oh my God.
I think there needs to be to be a Sexy Rexy, like Calendar Girls calendar again.
You know,
bedroom shot. Why was there a thing of tissues there?
We made a calendar and it sold so well.
I think it needs to happen again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am recovering from shoulder surgery, so I'm out of Rex for the next little bit. But it's coming up to the point that I can be in the suit, and we really should, because I love the epic shots. I love the epic shots so much. But when we were experimenting with the Sexy Rexy photo shoots, it was because I was looking at our Instagram statistics, and only 12% of the followers were women. And so we were like, here's for the mighty 12. This is for you. And we started doing the shots, and the pictures aren't actually that good, but it was the captions that we'd put that we thought were so funny because they're like kind of dirty, you know? And we gained within just a couple day period, like 15,000 followers over this specific shot. And each picture would have hundreds and hundreds of comments. And it was some of the most fun I'd ever had with Britt and I doing it, because the interactions were so funny, and like there was like this sexual tension, and it was a really good time. I enjoyed that.
I think we need a 2025 Sexy Rexy boudoir
over Magic Mike.
Yeah, that's pretty
right.
awesome.
And you know, with a lot of those shots, I was only like, there's so many stories. Those pictures are great. They're like sitting down, I'm only wearing like the top bit here. There's one where I'm in the bed where I'm only wearing like the shin that's visible and like the shoulders. So there's a lot of like movie magic happening, because I cannot sit in a clone. You cannot lay down. If you tip over, you're dead. It's over.
Yeah. When we talked to C-3PO, he was talking about the fact that you can't sit down in a C-3PO costume. And I'm like, oh, his hips don't move, do they?
Yeah, Chris
3PO.
Bartlett, who plays a lot of the androids and things in Star Wars. He plays C-3PO on television. He does TV and personal appearance 3PO. Anthony Daniels, of course, does all the motion pictures and all that type of
I
stuff.
could not remember Chris's name. It was gone.
Yeah, it's okay. But he talked about, he's like, there's scenes where if you see the robot sitting down, they're only filming them from the waist up because
He's not wearing any pants.
he's like, yeah, well, he's not wearing the robot pants. He's wearing pants, just not,
Robot's not wearing any pants.
Yes.
Okay,
He's pantless. No pantalones. So
you've one
All
more
right.
female follower now. I had to follow you after that one.
Oh,
There you
very
go.
good. I'll let you-
I think so. There needs to be an FSF Captain Rex 2025 calendar. I think there needs to be some.
Once I'm fully healed and get all the movement back, I had talking to dogs, my 2 doodles. Like I did firefighting, I played lacrosse throughout school, survived without an injury, and then my dogs were excited to see me and knocked me over on the stairs, and it cranked my shoulder up, so I tore everything, had to have it stitched and bicep tendon reattached and all that stuff.
My husband's having that done in a couple of weeks.
I go in for surgical consult in 2 weeks for my right shoulder.
Is it
Going around.
labrum or is it?
I have 2 tears in my labrum.
Okay, so it's slap tear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we need to talk. I'll walk you through what
Yeah.
you need to do.
My husband has a rotator cuff tear. They're doing an acromioplasty and the bicep tendon.
Oh,
We
the
need
bicep
to
tendon.
talk. We need to talk because that's
Yep.
It's gonna be great fun around here. So
We'll do the podcast again, and everybody will be in slings. And I'll be like, "All right, guys, this is what
There's-
you do to sleep."
There's going to need to be
Drugs.
some Tim and John narcotic content, though.
we're gonna get.
You guys should do like movie reviews while on narcotics. That would be hilarious.
Emily, y'all are weak. She's probably not wrong.
Madam.
I don't know her, and I love her.
Again, 6'3" is sissy. So we're just gonna go with that. All right. We try to keep this around an hour. We're a little bit over an hour. Let's just
We're
quickly,
having so much fun.
we are having fun, but I promised these guys an hour, and I'd like to try and stick to my word. All right. Let's just go through the last week's
Alrighty.
episode right quick.
Well, last week we aired our interview with the amazing John Billingsley of Star Trek Enterprise. John played Dr. Phlox on that series and has been loved by Trek fans ever since. Which, I mean, look at that face. How could you not love him? He is very sweet. He is very, very nice. But we talked to him about the amazing event that was held this past Saturday called Trek Talks that benefited the Hollywood Food Coalition. Please visit their website and donate. They do such great work to help the less fortunate. And, we might have talked about Trek a little bit, maybe.
A smidge, perhaps.
Just a smidgen. You can still find that episode of the FSF PopCast on our YouTube channel or your favorite audio podcast providers, especially Good Pods. We love Good Pods. Good Pods loves us. You should love Good Pods too. And you might want to stay tuned because we have some other Trek announcements coming.
We have a massive Trek announcement coming up in about
I
about
can't.
a week and a half. So yeah, stay
I
tuned.
got goosebumps, Tim. I started thinking about it and I got goosebumps. This is not okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I'm not,
It's gonna be fun. It will
I'm
include
not gonna be
Minnesota.
okay.
Just gonna say. All right, so yeah, so in order to do that, you're gonna subscribe. This is why we
Easy,
edit
right?
things when I try to talk. I almost did a raspberry there, John. John would have loved it. All right, but click that subscribe button because you want to make sure that you're in early enough to catch the behind the scenes and the early access on our Patreon channel for the interview with Roger Christian. He's an industry icon, an Academy Award winner. He worked with George Lucas on, well, Star Wars. He's New Hope. He is the reason why we have blue milk. He is the reason why Luke's lightsaber was built from an old camera handle. He is the reason why we have a lot of things in Star Wars the way we do. He was also the director of the movie called Battlefield Earth, which people definitely have feelings about. We'll just leave it at that. But he worked on Life of Brian with the Monty Python group. There's so much cool stuff that's going on here with Roger Christian, not to mention his work on Alien and everything else. Super cool dude. He's got a documentary coming out called Galaxy Built on Hope. Check it out. It's amazing. The content in that documentary is just top notch. But if you don't want to wait till next Friday, you can catch early access for that on Patreon probably tomorrow, maybe
Wednesday. Let's go Wednesday.
But anyway, you'll get a couple days early access, and I mean it's only 3 little George Washingtons a month, so you might want to check that out. And for $10 a month, there's a whole lot of behind the scenes content out there with John Billingsley. There will be some with Roger Christian and a whole bunch of other stuff, including a bunch of other shows we've already previously done, because this is episode 169. There's a lot of content out there.
For those of you who are playing the presidential version, at $10, one Alexander Hamilton, who was not a president, in case you wondered.
Who's that? Let's see. Just catching up on some comments real quick. Captain Keeley says, no, Rex isn't old. He's not weak. He's old. Don't worry, Rex. He's got your back. Ben says that my wife is very excited for high reviews.
That's what we do.
She even commented in, hi, it's Mimi. Totally do reviews on meds. It'll be hysterical.
Yep. It's going to happen, Mimi.
John says he's definitely in, so we'll make it happen.
So while the guys are doing their narcotic reviews, and then Mimi and I will start a book club. It'll be beautiful.
It'll be great times. War Demon said, is this coming to an end like all good things? Yes, unfortunately. All right. Oops, clicked on that one again. All right, so just as a real quick reminder, April, remind people where they can find you, please.
I'm easy to find. I'm live on my own podcast, so thank you for having me here. Mine is called The A Show. It's on Wednesday nights on twitch.tv, The A Show. We talk about kind of everything. You can also check me out on Instagram, Real April Hunter, Patreon April Hunter, aprilhunter.com. See how easy that is? Just like a theme here. Twitter April Hunter. So just find me, and I would love for you to find me. So I appreciate you coming in here, hanging out, and talking to me tonight.
Awesome. And Rex?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. It's CPTN_Rex, Captain Rex. And then you want to follow my wife as well. The name is Fives. She's a lot of the art, the paint, the build. It's everything that you like about what I do is actually her.
The guy in the suit.
That needs to be put out there.
You are a good husband.
No, she's like, this is not.
That's why. That's what she does, and she's amazing at it.
She is very good at what she does. She's a preferred painter for Imperial Surplus. She's sought after. She'll do like 1 kit a year on commission. So, I mean, she is very sought after. And then you can follow me on Twitch and Kick at the OG Captain Rex. The OG Captain Rex, if you like okay gameplay and substandard entertainment.
I love it. Okay gameplay. That's
if you're not in looking for a high KD ratio, follow Captain Rex.
If you're looking for gameplay that makes you feel like you can do anything,
I feel like your gameplay needs the gold star sticker that's on my desk, because I have a gold star sticker literally right in front of me that just says, I tried.
No, I'm like Punchinello. I don't take dots or stars, right? They just fall off. You know that reference. But yeah, I'll be live tonight at 9:30 Mountain Time. Come say hello.
Yeah, follow him on Twitch to get the nice alerts that says he's off and his wife let him play. It's good times. So,
what's up tonight though? What are you playing tonight?
It's Warzone, so be prepared to have your mind blown at.
Awesome.
I don't know. Just something great will happen. I guarantee it. I won't give it away. No spoilers. It'll just be amazing.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming and joining in with us, guys. If you want, like I said, if you didn't write that down, their connections, you can look in the show notes down below. There's the Instagram handles for each of them, including Fives. Now, we didn't get a chance to talk with Fives tonight, but please go follow their page. Fives is amazing.
Fives is
she got home and then got a text immediately after that our daughter had locked herself in the bathroom and there had been an incident. And my heart just goes out to her because, she's handling that. She comes home, she's like, I gotta go. I'm like, oh, bless you. Like she's the one you want to talk to. She's amazing. Yeah, give her a follow if you like really good art and paint jobs.
Well, we'll tell you what. We'll make another play date and have her come back, and because we'd love to have her on.
Make the kids dance that time.
And right. Yes.
We'll just tell her, Rex said you're the more important one anyway, so here you go.
What are we doing with this dummy?
He's
that's
just
right.
the face, sort of.
I'm the helmet. Yeah, it could be anybody. It could be a
Just the
corpse in there.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and on behalf of Kathleen and our invisible Ben, get better, feel better, bud. We miss you, and yeah, goodbye.
Copyright 2024 FSF PopCast. Reference to any specific product or entity mentioned on this podcast does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by FSF PopCast. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact us via email at info@fsfpopcast.com.